This new microphone, the wind thing on it, the attachment process for this is awful. I've already dropped it and nearly lost it twice. Right, bring an elastic band next time, I think.
What did I say?
During the meanwhilest.
During the meanwhilest? No, I don't like that at all.
Well, hello, it's Dexter and me, back on YouTube again, in 2021, would you believe? I've come up today to this rather spooky forest in Ystrad. We come here quite a lot to take pictures. We love it here. It's very nice, very peaceful, no people around. And what I've come up here to do today is make a little bit of an unfair comparison. I'm going to test the performance of the Panasonic Lumix G2 camera that I bought late last year and pit it head to head against my Fujifilm GFX50R. Now, that's not a very fair comparison at all. We're looking at a 10-year-old 12 megapixel micro four thirds camera against a relatively new, still, 51.2 megapixel or thereabouts, medium format digital image making beast. But when I made my can you do landscape photography with a cheap camera video last year, I tested it out with like a cheap tripod, cheap filters. Now what I'm going to do today is use the tripod and the filters that I would normally use with my GFX to make the comparison. So let's get into the forest, out of this wind, and take some pictures. See you in a bit. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I am absolutely rubbish at woodland photography. If you like, I can't see the wood for the trees. I can never seem to find compositions. Now, this isn't a particularly interesting forest, granted. It's you know, it's farmed, it's manufactured, it's forestry commission land. I think it's like probably second or third growth forest now. So there's not much in the way of wilderness in here. But all the same, I still struggle. Even if you put me in, you know, the nicest, most beautiful, dense forest, I'd struggle to find compositions. It's not something I've ever been very good at. I really enjoy trying to make a fist of forest photography, but I just can't seem to grasp it. Perhaps I need to go on a workshop with somebody to teach me what I should be looking for. Anyway, adopt, adapt and improve, as is my one of my favourite sayings, and we'll break out the cameras and see if we can't find something to take a picture of. Well, I think I found something reasonably interesting. What I really like is this tree here. This one here, I like these sort of mottled patterns in it. They're quite nice. And this little fern at the foot of the tree. These mottled patterns are really quite nice. You've got the green hues in those, and you've got the sort of browner, more orange hints in the newer growth tree next to it. So I think this is a decent starting point to try and get some sort of image. Right, so that's the tree I'm interested in as a sort of the foreground element, if you like. So I'm going to shoot it with the GFX50R first. I'm going to put the 32 to 64 on and have a play about with different focal lengths. I'll put a polarizer on, just to take, there's some glare in the very background, but do you know what? Thinking about it, I'm not going to bother polarizing. The colours are rich enough as they are, and I think it'll probably be more of a fair comparison if I'm not going to stick anything in front of the lenses. The more I think about it though, the more I realise this is completely silly, making this comparison. But I'm still going to do it. I'm going to make this video. Whether it ever sees the light of day or not is another thing. But there we go, we'll see. I'm going to shoot it portrait orientation and f16. That's going to give me plenty of depth of field. I'm going to focus on the base of the tree, and I'm at 32 millimeters. So what's that? 24, 25. So I'll go out a little bit, I think. There we are. Let's take it to about a 28mm full frame equivalent. Focus on the bottom of the tree. 2-second timer. Take the image. Right, I'm not going to move the tripod. I'm going to leave it exactly where it is. And I'm just going to change cameras. Right, so I've got this in aperture priority. And I will shoot it at f3.5. Let's put the timer on. Again, focus on the base of the tree. Take the image. Take another one just for luck. Okay. First test shot's done. Let's move on. Well, for this next composition, I've found this uprooted tree. It's massive. You can see the root system completely torn out of the ground, and the uprooted tree is sort of being held up by the flimsiest of flimsy branches, amazingly. But what I like about this image is this lovely carpet of moss in front of it. And I think it's going to make for quite a sort of spooky, ethereal, almost like a sort of deep south rainforest type picture, if you use your imagination. So again, let's crack out both the cameras and shoot away. Again, I don't think I'm going to bother with any sort of polarizing filter or anything. There's no glare. It's a very saturated, verdant scene anyway, and I don't really want to add to that. And I don't really want it to have too slow a shutter speed, because it is a breeze and it is moving things about. So I don't really want those things blurred in the image. So, tripods out. Let's go again. Round 2. Ding ding. Now what I want to do for this shot is I want to set up quite close to the ground so I can get the moss in and get the sort of grandeur of the tree. Now I am going to shoot this image as well with my 23mm f4 on the GFX. But for the comparison, I'll shoot it first with the 32-64 on. Right, before we pack up and head back to the car, let's have a quick little chat about this microphone. It seems fine. Battery life's good, range is good, sound quality is good. There's one glaring fault with it, and it's this wind thingy. It comes off so easily. There's like a little clip to clip it into the top of the microphone, but I've already dropped it 3 times on this forest floor, and luckily I found it. But the road give you another one, a spare, just one though. I think they need to give you about 30, either that or sort this out. So I think what I'm going to have to do is try and find some method of permanently affixing this little windsock onto my microphone. Otherwise I'm just going to be losing these all the time. Yeah, so all good, apart from one horrible thing. Okay, right, talking of horrible things, let's get out of this forest. Oh, right, well here we are, back indoors after the trip up to the forest in Ystrad, and it's about a month after we made that journey and took those images. The reason I've waited so long to finish this video and put it out is because I wasn't really happy. The premise behind the whole video is a bit silly, really, comparing a 10-year-old second-hand Micro Four Thirds camera that cost me £100 on eBay to a much more advanced medium format digital camera that cost me £6,000 with the lens. So the whole premise behind the comparison is flawed, really. But it did prove to me one thing, and that is it doesn't matter what kit you've got. Get out there and use it and enjoy landscape photography. One thing I did find more enjoyable using my normal sort of kit with the Panasonic was the tripod. And I think it's proved to me that for landscape photography to be truly enjoyable, you do need a good tripod and a tripod head. It makes the world of difference to how you make your images and to the final result. I just found it so much easier to use my three-legged thing over that flimsy old Manfrotto tripod that I used in the last Panasonic video. It was just a joy to shoot. Yes, as I was saying, it doesn't matter whether you've got a phone, a Micro Four Thirds, APS-C, full frame, medium format, large format, 8x10, doesn't matter what. The most important thing is that you get out and enjoy making images with whatever kit you've got. The images I shot, I'll pop them up. They're not all that great. And to be honest, on YouTube and on things like Instagram and 500 pics, you're not going to tell a difference between an APS-C, a Micro Four Thirds, a full frame, whatever. You're just not going to tell the difference. Because things like the images are so heavily compressed. So if you're just sharing your work on the internet, it doesn't matter what you use. Having said that, the images that I shot with the GFX do look better. I'd be very disappointed if they didn't. When you look at them, close up on the computer screen or printed out, obviously they are better. But yeah, really, the message is, doesn't matter what you shoot with, just get out and enjoy this hobby. I'm struggling now for content because we're locked in again. Welsh Government sent me a lovely late Christmas present in the form of a letter telling me I have to shield again. So I can't even go out and get any exercise. So getting out to take images and make videos is going to be nigh on impossible. But no, I'm going a little bit stir crazy here at home, as is Dexter. He wants to, get out and about with me. He's missing seeing the sheep up in the mountains, bless him. And video-wise, I'm struggling now for ideas. This year I was hoping to make a series of films basically highlighting the fact that you don't need to travel to expensive locations, you don't need to hike anywhere, you don't need to spend loads of money to enjoy landscape photography. If you're not able-bodied or you're getting on a bit, you can still enjoy it locally, without resorting to any sort of physical effort whatsoever. And that was my mission for this year. Hopefully I can get back into that after I've had some sort of vaccine, hopefully. But we have to wait and see what happens. We still may not be able to get out and about even after being vaccinated. We don't know. Yeah, so I'm struggling for video ideas, as next week's video will sadly prove. I won't tell you what it's about, but it's stuck in here again, and it's another one of my little rants, I guess, my opinionated rants. That'll be fun for you all. So if you've got any ideas for stuff you'd want to see, which don't involve me, you know, going out and about to make images, perhaps, you know, I'll talk about an item of gear I've got, or a workflow process, video making process, whatever. Anything you're interested in, I want to know, let me know in the comments below, and if I can, I'll make a video about that. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching this very strange video, and Dexter and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.